Hi, it's Lisa. I have a shopping video for you today. It's a little different than I normally do because I didn't mail order any of this stuff. I bought it at local craft stores and other sources, a lot of which are not typical scrapbooking locations. I'm going to start though with one that is, and that's Hobby Lobby. I went through the clearance rack. I don't do this every time I go, but I do sometimes, and sometimes I find some really good things. I've got some wood veneer from Studio Calico, only $1.43 for the pack of cameras. This one is really neat. It's got little typewriters and it's got some words. Let's see what words are in here because I've been wanting to open this one. The only thing I don't like about these are the packaging, because I always have to transfer them to something else. But we have Daydream and Today and Darling and Wish and Bliss and all kinds of great words, and I just love wood veneer pieces. So those were a good buy. Get them out of the way so they won't catch in the light. Some more Studio Calico. These were the little cameras. And I have a lot of these. These are mistables, so you can mist them or you can paint them or put ink or pastels or whatnot on those. There's probably more cameras than I will use in my lifetime. For $1.79, those were also a good deal. Now these rub-ons, I already had a pack of these that I had bought at Hobby Lobby before. Probably used a coupon or something when I got them. These are great rub-ons. They're American Crafts. I think they're the only American Crafts I've ever had, but they just go on just beautifully. And there's a lot of different ones in here. It shows you on the back. So if you like rub-ons, if you especially using them on mixed media and all, this is a wonderful pack to have. Since I had used quite a few of the ones I had, so I snapped up the ones there on clearance. Now, one of my best deals lately was at the Goodwill store. I've contributed to Goodwill probably a couple of times a year for as long as I can remember, but I really hadn't shopped there. And I went in looking for some things for mixed media, and I go in the back and there's all these racks of stuff, and on the very first rack I spotted a stamp set for $1. And I looked and it's not even been mounted. All these great stamps, not even ever been used at all. And I just kept going through the rack and kept coming back to the rack, and I didn't find anything for my mixed media, but I found all these wonderful Stampin' Up sets for $1 a piece. And there were more than this, but I bought the ones that I thought that I would use. So you never know what you might find at Goodwill. Got a couple of punches. I think these have both been discontinued by Stampin' Up, the tag punch and the scallop square punch. This hodgepodge hardware set for $2 has been partially used, but there's still plenty of great things in here for a very low price. Down there. But my favorite thing of all were these rollers, or wheels they call them. Because I use these a lot on mixed media, and I use them on regular scrapbook pages too, just to add some visual texture and interest. So these three by themselves, the whole deal, everything I bought at Goodwill was $18 and change. These three wheels are worth that or more. And I was just thrilled to get those. But there's also a wheel for thank you that has all kinds of thank you greetings on it, and one for birthdays. And then there's one that's got these little farm animals called Farmyard, and I'm not sure that I would ever use this. It's really cute, but anyway, the whole thing, including the box, was $6. So I was just thrilled to get such goodies. Now, I also did some shopping at a great place locally. It's a place, I think the idea behind it is one person's trash is another person's treasure. That's not, they don't have that like painted on the window, but that's the impression I get. It's run by one of the local missions, and people donate stuff, and they sell out front in the nice showroom things that people make out of basically junk, you know, like a coat rack made out of doorknobs. Attached to a board, something like that. They have all kinds of really cool things, and people have come up with really creative ways to use what would otherwise be trash. In the back, they sell what some people would consider trash, just the odds and end bits, things like this trim. Oh, this came from Hobby Lobby, sorry. This was another Hobby Lobby find back off the clearance rack that I'm going to use for mixed media. But anyway, things like this great trim, I think I paid a quarter, 15 cents, something like that. And this probably was in style a long time ago, but I think it's just beautiful, and I would be pretty on a card as well as on some of my mixed media projects. Keys, I've already used one off of here. There were 5 keys for 75 cents. Let's see what else. I got some trend. They sell patterns and sheet music. I bought some sheet music, and then I really liked it, and I went back a couple weeks later to get some more. The whole box was gone. So I learned that if you like something, you better get it. I got some pretty lace trim here that I didn't spend very much on. Let's see. I think that's all of those things. We're back to Hobby Lobby. I forgot about these a while ago. These were also on clearance. They were part of, I guess they had originally been part of jewelry to make earrings. I have taken them apart and used them as individual gems on my canvases, and they could go on pages as well. These things came from an unusual source. My mother had a flood in her utility room, and we were cleaning up. She had some bags of these. I think they were meant to go in like in a glass dish if you're putting flowers in or something, and I brought them home with me, and I've got much larger quantity of them over in my closet, but I just put a few in this little box to keep for projects because I thought they were really kind of neat. Let's see, I've shown you some of these things before. These were Hobby Lobby clearance rack, the little gears. So this particular box is one that when I used to do counting cross stitch 20 years ago or more, I had bigger boxes for all my thread, but I kept this small box to put stuff for a particular project in. So I've repurposed it for some of my mixed media stuff. Now, one other place that I shopped recently is a store in Gastonia, North Carolina called Mary Jo's. And anybody who sews in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, probably East Tennessee, has been to Mary Jo's or has heard of it, because they're a famous fabric store. They're not fancy, but they have the best selection of fabric and just really great service in there. So I've always gone to Mary Jo's for things, and I was down there for something else, and while I was there I had to browse their trims to see if they had anything for scrapbooking or mixed media. My mother was with me, and she was digging around in the boxes, and she found this tiny little piece of silver trim that was really pretty, and I don't remember what it was, but it was very inexpensive. She also found this one. It was $2. It was in a pack, and you couldn't really see what was in there, and I didn't really want it, but to humor her, I bought it, and I'm really glad I did, because it's a beautiful trim, not just the color, but the design, because it can be placed vertically. You don't find many trims that you can run up and down. They're mostly designed, I think, if they have a pattern, especially floral pattern, to go horizontally across something. I did a few things by the yard, like this pretty rickrack. It's fun, and I thought this trim was kind of neat, because I'm looking for texture a lot of times in mixed media, but something like this would be pretty on a scrapbook page, a beach-oriented page. And they also have all these little, here's a name for them, these little things that you sew on a wedding dress, and they sell them individually, 69 cents or 99 cents. And stuff like this, I can cut this up and use this on multiple projects or multiple places across a canvas. And like I told Mother, I don't really care that much about the color because I'm going to add paints and mists and things to them. So these are just some things that I've gotten lately, a little bit unusual. I have not done a lot of mail order. I've gotten a couple things from Peachy Cheap, but just really been looking at the local stores and thrift stores and things to find some unusual stuff, because I've got tons of paper and everything. So I've just been looking for some really different kinds of things to have for my projects. So you'll probably see me incorporating, well, the mixed media I don't do videos on, but you'll see me incorporating probably some of these things in some scrapbook pages in 2015, I imagine, as well. So thank you so much for watching, and I will have one more process video for 2014. The sketchbook is coming out soon. I've been working on that, and we'll hopefully have lots more videos coming out in 2015. And I'm also working or getting going on my next class. So lots of things coming up. Thanks so much.